Yes, sir, we'll be.
We ready?
May I pass these out to you?
Sure, absolutely. All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order of the City of Clinton Design and Review Board for Thursday, September 18th, 6 o'clock. All of you have the minutes from our last meeting of August 21st, 2025. Take a motion to approve those minutes.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Cheryl, second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Tallman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, hearing none. Minutes passed from our last meeting in August. Any old business to discuss? Old business? Anybody on the board? Mr. Metters? Ms. Sonia? Okay, no old business. New business is new old business, the House of Pizza sign. You see the application in front of you. A little history behind this before we go into discussion. On March 17th, 2025, the Design Review Board tabled the request until a later date when a revised plan was provided by the applicant. On June 12th, the Design Review Board denied the request as no modifications were made to the original submitted on March 17th. On August 21st of 24, the Design Review Board granted the applicant the ability to revise and resubmit the application for reconsideration within 6 months as outlined in section 6.8 of the city zoning ordinance. All right, discussion on the application for the signage at tax map number 90105100006. Mrs. Tallman.
I do have a lot of questions, not to do about the sign, but the process we're going through. And on the staff recommendation, it says in 3 places does not meet the standard. And so my question is, and this is to everybody, and we don't have Alan Wham here, but like, I've gotten a lot of education lately, a lot, about what the ordinances mean, what they stand for, and it's basically the laws of our city. And I said before, I think ours are outdated and they need to be adjusted, but they need to be adjusted in a timely manner, which we haven't been given time to do. But I don't know if we even have we would have to grant a variance in a sense.
Correct.
And I just don't, there's nowhere in here that says we can do a variance. It says that so that's why it says in the Board of Zoning and Appeals, that's where it goes for any variances. It goes to them. And they can decide. I think we're just being in a position that's highly stressful, and I'm over it and tired of it, and I want what's best for the House of Pizza. I want what's best for our town. There's no ill intent on anybody's part. It's just, we haven't followed ordinances for a long time, and you have to start somewhere. And if the Zoning Board of Appeals want to give them a variance, then it's more power to them, like, go for it. I just don't think, unless Alan Wham or somebody can say that's in our purview to do, I don't know if that is, and so that's my...
Okay. Mr. Metters.
I've talked to several business owners in the historic district. And some have heartburn with the fact that we approved the sign for the House of Pizza at the old location. Now we're not approving the sign. Was it wrong to do it before, and are we holding them to a higher standard now? The other question is, if we grant this variant, if we
Which
have
I don't know if
if we have the legal right to do, could we ever turn down any other sign in the historic district? I don't know. I don't know if we'd have a legal leg to stand on. Other business owners I've spoken with have said that, you know, they have operated within the ordinances. Do we need to change?
All right. Mr. Stoddard.
I too agree. You know, if we allow the variance, you know, we have to consider the other businesses in the historic district. I wish, as my other colleagues have said, you know, do we have the power to allow the variance? You know, and once we allow this variance, you know, if others come forth and ask for that variance, we have to give it to them. And so we need, I guess we need more direction from a legal standpoint, what we can do. Like I said, we don't know if we can allow that variance. Right now, it doesn't meet the city standards as the standards are written. So that I know there's talk about how do we allow the last sign. It was a different building last time. You know, and so you know, that's where I stand. Can we allow the variance? Do we have the legal authority to allow the variance?
Right. Ms. Cheryl.
This all came about because of a very tragic situation. We have 4 plots of empty dirt in the historic district. I agree that maybe our ordinances need to be looked at and redone because what's the likelihood of someone wanting the 4 empty spaces if they have to comply to make it look like it was built in 1910? So we're going to have to do something with our ordinances. This that was presented today, I saw another version of this that did not have the rooftop. And for me, in the space with the windows, that would alleviate one of the concerns in here, or where it didn't meet standard, if the rooftop was not there. So that's one possibility. The way that it was presented to us the first time was as if we could grant a variance. So now we're questioning whether we can or we can't. And I guess my question would be, and if we can, are we willing to do that? That's my question.
Yeah. Staff recommendations, Mr. Joe?
Give me just 1 second. I'm looking up what you actually can and can't do here.
Yeah.
I think from what I've read in the past, it's a yes or a no. And then from that, it's left up to them to carry it further.
Right.
But give me just a minute, and let me see if I can find it in this small print on my phone.
Ms. Sonia, is anybody signed up to speak on behalf?
No, sir.
Okay,
I can speak, Can I?
absolutely.
Well, I have a question. If the city goal is to grow the town, the people need to be able to see it with their own eyes. We've been established business, fighting to open my business twice. So you need guys to help us. It's not the first time we have issues. So we are established business, and the sign will be charged from the sunset to close, which with that being said, from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. So it does not make sense you guys turn me down over and over and over with all respect what you guys are doing. But the city council, who the one who done the ordinance, you guys can change it. Because we need to grow, it's not need to grow. You don't need to come to the city. You see money building? If with that being said, if my building is a historic building, why you guys make me, the city of Clinton, make everything on the new code? I've been offering since January 1st. They know. But every time they come into my building, can you do this, that, a new code? Where is the new historic? Why is it not old? That's not right. If from outside it looks old, no at all. From inside, everything's brand new. From the ceiling to the floor to the sheetrock, everything is a brand new, and the code is 2025. So nothing is old. And we're not like Charlotte or Charleston. You know, people that come here on the weekend, have like a school bus and taking a picture for downtown. No, you guys need to see it. And Mr. Matters, with all respect for you, you asked, you said nobody want to see her sign from my firm, that's just wrong, because you should support owner business. Because I do need everybody to see my business to bring people to traffic to town. Because you guys take a benefit of my tax every month, and bringing people to town, and we are open established business. So you guys make a benefit, and it plus the utility is so crazy. Imagine the top of the utility, my sign as well, and my sign is going to turn on just only 2 hours, weekday until 9, that's when we close, and weekend at 10. So it doesn't make any sense my sign turned down over and over and over. It shouldn't take so long for this. That's what, with all respect, it's not necessary. You treat owner business, so I would not advise any owner business to come to downtown Clinton as an owner. I invest my money twice for that town. I would never invest it. So you guys stop business established to come to town the way how you guys push me away. That's what exactly you guys want me to do. So I need to know what's the reason. Because Mr. Matters, the other time he said, you know, if they might can accept it if it's lower. And that's appreciated. I did this to you. I lowered it down. I even at the dinner, it cost me about $1,000 for y'all mistake from last time. Who's going to pay for that mistake from last time? Because you guys not read the application. The application, if you guys in that position, you know, as for historic language designer or whatever, you should guys know the application doesn't need education, doesn't need to study, it doesn't need anything. It's literally say, let's sign for the historic building. You should guys already know the position is saying no, because that's your job. Like you come to my business, I own a business, so I don't have to make a pizza. The same thing for y'all for the business, but with all respect. So this is like so much, it takes so much further and keep like over and over and over. So we don't want to fight, we're not here to fight. We're here to come up with an agreement with respect for the city. And I told Mr. Dewey about that. So I lowered it down, but you guys asked me for it, and I got dimmer lights. So now it's saying no. But if my sign saying no, everybody in the historic district sign, they need to turn down as well. Because everybody have it. Gas station, like look after something else. KFC and all that district people, they have lit sign. Why do you guys not say that? Do not tell me grandfathers. No. No. Do not tell me. And look how the old buildings. And look that big hole it was on the wall the other day. If we're taking the Facebook and making the social media make it loud, it couldn't be closed. With that being said, if that historic building, why you guys paint it from outside? Improve it for the historic. So if like from the historic, like you guys started out, from the historic to like kind of like painting with whatever color it is. So we're the only one open 7 days a week. 7 days a week, all the holiday. And Mr. Mike, he knows that. And we work so hard. I have head manager, I have people working with us, but we're still there 7 days a week. So we need guys your support. We're not here to disrespect you. We need you to come up with agreement, which is that's why I'm hoping, that's why I'm here for it. Because I bring him here, we're gonna pay him to work to come here to do the presentation for y'all. And that's why you guys asked for it. So I don't know where the confusion is. If the ordinance is the problem, you guys the goal for the town to grow the town, not push people. Yeah, imagine, it doesn't look good for me or for y'all or City of Clinton, the way how you guys treat established business. So I appreciate if you guys can work with us around it. Because everybody wanna come to town, but when you see guys treating people like this, nobody wanna go. Until, give me one owner business, stay in the town, open more than 1 year. Name it for me. No one. Everybody goes to this town after 1 year or 2. Nobody asks why. Why that Clinton it doesn't satisfy? Because a bunch of we get from the city all the time, and the rules, and this and that. Why we gotta grow like Lawrence? You guys not think about that? So he owned House of Pizza in Lawrence. I own mine in Clinton. So we establish business. We bring people to traffic. We need to be seen. I do need to be seen because I need to pay people who's working with us. I need to pay you guys at the end. I need to pay for the utility. You guys killing everybody for it. So we need to work together with all respect, please. And I appreciate you listening for your time. Mr. Would you like to talk to me, Mr. Brian?
Good evening. I appreciate you guys letting us talk. My name is Brian Hooper with St. Clair Signs, and the packet that I provided you guys just kind of gives a little bit of history. So on the first page, you can kind of see the old building and the signage that was approved for the old building. Flipping through the page, you'll see the finished product showing the sign that was actually on the building. The next page you'll actually see, I know there was questions about lighting. This is actually white LED light, so you can kind of see from the photos what the lighting looks like on the inside of the channel letters. The next picture is actually showing the new concept with the sign lowered and the roof, which is technically their logo, and that's the reason for the roof being added, because that is their branding. You know, it's almost like telling McDonald's that they can't have the golden arches, nobody's gonna recognize who McDonald's is. So that's the reason that it got brought down and the rooftop was actually added. The next page, you'll see a side-by-side comparison showing the actual signage from the old location and the new location. Pretty much every single measurement is exactly the same. Everything is 100% the same way it was at the other location that burned down. And we were asked some general information to actually provide as well. So on the back page, you'll see some sign specifications. We were asked about proposed wattage, which is roughly about 455 watts for that sign. The current amp draw is roughly about 3.79 amps at 120 volts. The lighting source that is normally used is a 6200K, which is Kelvin LED light, which is a standard channel letter light that's actually inside the channel letters. We did mention that the sign will be put on a dimmer, so if you guys say that the 6200 is too bright, they'll have the capabilities of actually turning it down a little bit, so it'll still be illuminated, just not at full brightness. We were asked about the physical weight of the sign, roughly estimated at about 225 pounds to 250 pounds. And then we were actually asked as well about mounting attachments. As you can see on the very back page, it actually shows the hardware that's actually used to secure the sign to the building. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that you guys may have at this time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Metters.
What I found is in the design review board portion of city ordinance, and it says, exceptions to specific standards. The city recognizes from time to time these standards may represent or present difficulties to property owners who wish to repair, use, or unadaptably reuse structures within the historic preservation district. Accordingly, the design review board may but is not required to grant an exception to a specific standard set forth in this manual. If it expressly finds proposed action will maintain the overall appearance or appeared authentically, new placement or repaired features will be consistent with the architectural features of the structure, and the proposed action will not adversely affect the other structures in the vicinity or diminish the character of the historic preservation district. In reviewing a request for an exception, the board may require the property owner to provide materials and documents regarding the condition of the structure, available alternatives to the proposed action, costs, and financing options. The board may modify the applicant's request for an exception and shall have the power to approve or request either in whole or in part. All exceptions must be specified in writing to the certificate of appropriateness. But as far as what you may do, you can grant, according to this, an exception. If you deny it fully, the only board of appeal is through the Lawrence County Circuit Court.
Okay. So we do have the ability to grant a variance on this. I'm going to propose a motion on a few things. The sign does meet the sign area standards, number one. We would need to have a motion to approve cardinal red and holly green in the colors within the district. We would have to identify this request as a variance to the design standards and or modification to downtown standards, like Joey just mentioned. If there are concerns about the amount of lighting, the city currently does not place any restrictions on the brightness of signs, which would be limited to this property. The applicant has stated they would cut the sign off when business is closed, which would be easy to enforce by staff. And we would have to make that a part of this motion too. Okay, so to review, the sign area does meet standard. We'd have to approve the two colors as part of the motion. In this application, they have moved the sign down like we discussed at length the last meeting we had. According to the brightness of the signs, again, there currently is not any restrictions on brightness of signs in this district. So, that being made in a motion, Ms. Sonia, I would have to get a second on that.
You left out one, the placement of the windows. Going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And placement over the windows would have to be a part of the motion also.
I had the building inspector check this afternoon, those windows are not operable. They are fixed.
So they're not for
in place.
egress
No.
at all, okay?
They're not.
All right, so that's my motion. I motion that we approve a variance. I motion that we approve the two colors, cardinal red and holly green. Grant a variance for the internal lighting. Part of the motion will be placement over the windows. The applicant has mentioned about when the sign would be on and off according to business hours. The only other question I got, and I know they mentioned the roof being a part of their emblem, is having the roof extend up and not maybe have that roof part of the sign. That would be the only other thing that I could think of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we cannot because that's part of the logo of my sign.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, well, we'll make that a part of the motion. So motion as it stands is sign color, variance on the illumination, motion and placement over the windows, and the lighting hours. That's the motion that I have. Can I get a second for that?
Yes.
Susan Tong with a second. Okay. All in favor of the variance, proceed with the sign, with the two other carries to the motion. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, it passes 5-0. Anything else there, Mr. Metters?
No.
So, I'm sorry, do we pass it? Thank you.
Okay, any other items, Mrs. Tallman? Mr. Metters?
No.
Mr. Stoddard? Ms. Anderson?
No.
Planning director's not here. Any report from the city?
No,
Mr. Meadows?
I will make a report to Mr. Lindler when he is here later on in the week or next week. And I am going to strongly recommend that we take a look at this ordinance and get it in line with what we need to do.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I'd love to make a recommendation to help. I'd be glad to help you guys with the sign ordinance as far as sign criteria and different types of signs if you're interested.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I'll
that.
give you a card.
I don't have any reports or recommendations. Reports or recommendations, Mr. Metters, Mr. Stoddard, Ms. Anderson. Second is a motion to adjourn this meeting. Ms. Anderson, Ms. Tallman. This meeting is adjourned.